The extra capacity kit consists of a 4-inch drum spacer, a long aluminum axle, 3 long screws, and a hex key wrench. The 3 screws that came with your hose reel in the clamshell will not be used. If your kit contained these 4 items, 3 flange nuts and 1 cage nut, you can discard them as they won't be needed for the installation. Step 1 is to line up the 3 embedded nuts on the back flange with the 3 channels on the inside of the spacer. Next, take the front flange and line up these 3 holes with the channels in the spacer. It doesn't matter which hole lines up with which channel. Now take one of the 3 long screws that came in the kit and insert it into one of the holes. It should slide down through the aligned channel and onto the embedded nut of the back flange. Then take the wrench and start threading the screw into the nut. Do not tighten firmly until you get the other 2 screws started. Okay, with all 3 screws started, go ahead and tighten them down firmly. This is the frame Y that came with your portable hose reel. The extra capacity kit upgrade will replace this pre-install axle with a longer extra capacity axle. In order to do that, we're going to partially split it in half. We'll accomplish that by completely removing this long clamp screw, and then there are 2 screws that hold the 2 halves together. We will completely remove the top screw and only partially loosen the bottom screw. Now, to remove this long clamp screw, the best way is to use the built-in pocket on one of the clamps. Hold the nut into this pocket with your finger while you use the hex key wrench to loosen and remove the screw. The frame Y is held together with these 2 screws. You'll need to remove the top screw completely. One note of caution: this screw may have just a little bit of a greasy type of lubricant on it, so be careful with it around anything that might stain, like your clothes, the carpet, or a tablecloth. Once you have the top screw removed, loosen the bottom screw about 3 or 4 rotations, just enough to separate the frame Y halves so you can remove the axle. Now, inside each side of the frame Y are 2 little nubs or posts that are designed to align with the holes in the axle. So simply insert the axle into the frame Y, align the holes with the nubs, and press the frame Y halves together, making sure there is a tight fit around the axle. Now, it is very important to retighten the top screw first, as you could crack the frame Y if you tighten the bottom one first. A trick to help get the top screw started is to take the long clamp screw that you removed and just barely thread the nut onto it with the rounded edge of the nylon side of the nut first. Then insert it into the frame Y. Place the screw onto the hex key wrench and insert it from the opposite side and start tightening. Once the short screw bites into the nylon portion of the nut, you'll be able to remove the long clamp screw and finish tightening the top screw firmly. Once the top screw is tight, go ahead and firmly tighten the bottom screw. And now you're ready to continue with the rest of your hose reel assembly.
If you need any assistance or have any questions, you can visit our website 24/7 or reach out to our customer support team during our regular business hours. Thanks again for your purchase of Ely products. We hope you enjoy them for many years to come.